Hey everyone, Stat is here. Suede recently published a video on YouTube highlighting the top 5 units in Civ 3. Some of the units he highlighted were artillery and cavalry, and I wanted to sort of show off a bit about how those can be so effective. So recently I was playing a game on Monarch as the Ottomans, and you'll see I'm at the point where I'm close to finishing up a domination victory and have a substantial tech lead, and I can basically just use Sipahis to steamroll the map. And I was able to use them in combination with workers to conquer 11 cities in a turn, and could have conquered the entire continent if I'd had enough units. But as you can see, um, well, we'll get into the footage. This is actually my third time attempting the final turn of this domination victory. You can say, did I freeze it again? I was streaming this on Twitch before I had a mic, so you'll see me typing things in chat from time to time. But this was my third attempt at the final turn because it kept crashing upon game end. But yeah, let's get into it. So we'll see right here. I'm finishing up Japan first. They've got 4 cities down here. I used my army first, and I had some units in their land, so I would use those to attack when I could. But you'll see a lot of what I'm doing here is just building railroads, as many railroads as I can, just to um, save those precious movement points for my units. Bring in the artillery so we can attack the musketmen and make it easier for the Sipahis. Because I was looking up and the Vikings did not have muskets, so I knew that this was the best spot to use artillery, was on these muskets. And then, so we've got Satsuma, so that's city number 2. I don't know why I picked library, it didn't really matter at this point. But I guess cheapest culture building for a scientific civ. And you'll see me, gather more workers. At this point I had replaceable parts, which, once you have replaceable parts, workers are maybe the most OP offensive unit. Or I guess not offensive technically, but in terms of the ability to build railroads to your enemies, they're actually huge. And you can also see I'm canceling a bunch of orders because I knew this was going to be the last turn in the game. So there was nothing more important for them to do. And you can see here, right, attacking samurai, I wanted to use the armies because, well, samurais are strong, musketmen are strong, but also, I'm going to pause here, oh, go back 10 seconds. I'm going to pause here once we get there. Yeah, you can see, because of the way the coastline is, the Vikings have this tile. I have to spend 2 moves through their land to get to Tokyo. Now that's fine for Sipahi because they're 3-move units, but in a lot of other spots you'll see, like, I'll attack Stavanger later. I can get there with just 1 move and in. So this is a spot where it's like if I had knights left over, which I don't think I do, but I may, like I could use those to attack Stavanger, Stavanger maybe. But yeah, for Tokyo, have to use Sipahi or the armies. But yeah, armies take it pretty easily. Create and install a new governor. Again, switch to tax collectors, although it doesn't matter. But just in principle, good to acquire that gold. Got that caravel, just seeing what the Vikings have. Yeah, just bring workers from the entire continent and build those railroads so we can get our Sipahi in. And I guess this specific video is about how devastating the Sipahi are if you get a tech lead, but a Sipahi attacking like a fortified veteran pikeman is like actually worse combat odds than a veteran cavalry attacking a 1 hit point rifleman. So that's also, I guess, a little bit of you know, backing up why artillery can be so effective, as Suede had them pretty high up his list of the top 5 units. I believe he had them at number 2, bombers at number 1. But yeah, if you're in a game on a higher difficulty level, trying to use cavalry against riflemen, if you have a big artillery stack, then, you know, use your artillery to redline the opposing units, and, you know, you're in a pretty good spot. All right, so we've taken Tokyo and Kagoshima. That's 4 cities. Now we absolutely stomp the Vikings. So yeah, step 1 is this city they settled in my land. Well, I felt possessive about it, but they beat me to the spot. But yeah, just get rid of that little piece of border gore. I had built some new Sibahis, so I pulled them over there, and that's city number 5. But yeah, I actually didn't have that big an army because against weaker units, I didn't need to. Yeah, you see me referencing the previous turns. Yeah, city number 5. But the previous times I'd run that, I actually lost a Sipahi attacking Alisund, which was, you know, annoying. I also previously had only made it to 8 or 9 cities in the final turn, which I believe we will do better than. Oh yeah, you can see here I have these 2 move ancient cavalries. Well, these are I'm just using to clean up the horsemen, which I probably didn't need to do. But, you know, nice to get them out of the way. It would be important if I wanted to leave these cities undefended, and the game was, you know, go beyond this turn. But I probably actually could have saved them for an attack. Now I'll just use the army to soften up Stavanger, and that's city number 6. And yeah, you can see, you know, that gets us 1 tile away from Stockholm with the right railroad setup. So bring in a couple workers, a couple more workers, and now we're railed all the way to the border of Stockholm. Now this strategy is also more effective because I'm the Ottomans, not just because of Sipahi, but because of the industrious trait. If you're industrious, 2 workers is all you need to build a railroad in 1 turn at replaceable parts. I believe if you're not industrious, it takes 3. So again, this strategy would totally be possible. It would just take a heck of a lot more, a lot more workers. Yeah, as a non-Ottoman civ against a higher tech opponent, more workers, more artillery, but still totally doable. But yeah, we're at the point where now we've taken 7 cities, and okay, I think this city of Herod is my next target. So yeah, we've still got a few Sipahis hanging around, workers hanging around that part of the empire. Sorry, I'll stop getting that that bar in the way. I guess I can also get Sipahis to Trondheim. I don't remember if I actually did capture the Viking capital. I think if I were doing this again, I wouldn't, because the AI keeps a lot more units in their capital than in other cities. So if I'm trying to capture as many cities as I can in a single turn, I would want to skip the capital and get all the others. Alright, so it should take, horseman showing should take 1 more unit to take that one. So just, you know, stacks of leftover Sipahi, and boom, that's city number 8, I believe. Yep, library, tax collectors. So yeah, I think Reykjavik is the next target just because it has so much culture. And since Sipahi can only attack once, I didn't even bother building additional railroads because I could get in there with enough movement left to attack. Yeah, again, if they've just got 2 spears in a city, it's pretty easy pickings. But now I will need rails. But I saved some worker moves by not railing to Reykjavik because, we'll go back 10 seconds again. I have this rail line down here that's connected all the way back up to my core. So instead of, doing 1, 2, 3 rails and then another 1, 2, I can just do 1, 2, 3 up this way, and that saves me, I guess, 4 workers, allowing me to get deeper into Viking territory. And that's an adjustment I think I made because, again, this was the 3rd time I played this final turn, and I was realizing, oh hey, I didn't fully optimize this. And in case you're wondering why I replayed it 3 times, I did want it not to crash on the game over screen, so it could show up in the Hall of Fame. Because again, at the time this was only my 2nd ever game on Monarch, so it was going to be at the top there, and I wanted it recorded. But I realized once it was take 3, rather than just trying to win so it shows up there, I should try to see how many cities I can capture in a single turn. But yeah, I had these stacks of workers, railroading the core, because as you can see, it's been, so recently since I got steam powered that it's not fully railed yet. But yeah, just pulling them out to finish the game, bring them all to the front. I think at this point I need Sipahi because I'm railed up to that border again. Yeah, so we grab some units. Did I use... Oh, so this Sipahi I used for vision because I'd already used it to attack. And then this one... Okay, that's where the city was. And again, just enough rails to get us in there. I think I lost that combat, that's unfortunate. But again, that's like the first lost combat I'd had the entire time. I think I do end up grabbing a damaged Sipahi that, normally I'd leave it to heal, but this is the final turn. May as well see if it can do some damage. Yeah, so that's 10, right? Because it was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then Alicent, which is off screen. Then I believe I make Burka my final target. So we'll just, oh, I put an infantry there as if I would need to defend it past this turn. But I guess, again, general good practice for, if you know a front's going to be open at the end of the turn, and at this point I don't have enough Sipahi left to take Trondheim, better make sure they don't immediately roll back your conquests, especially since, all my workers are on those tiles from building railroads and could easily be captured. So yeah, just checking the core at this point to see, did I leave any Sipahi behind, or have I brought them all to the front? And again, the same thing with workers. So yeah, just stacking those guys up. And yeah, with the slave workers, with replaceable parts, it takes 4 for a railroad instead of 2. So again, really taking advantage of that industrious trait here. And with the rail into Bergen, sorry. We can, I think, reach Burka, although yeah. And here we start attacking with damaged Sipahi because that's all I have left, but against pikes and spears, it's still a pretty decent trade, especially if you're, just kind of balls to the wall, doing as much damage as you can in the final turn, as I've been saying. Yeah, he can... I think I even attack with the 1 health one. Yeah, because took some damage and retreated, and yeah, pull that guy in. Why not? And he takes Burka for the 11th city. Yeah, see, I hadn't reached 11 in any of the prior runs, and, definitely stretching it, attacking with a 1 health unit would would not recommend that if I was, fighting the war beyond the end of that turn, but it got the job done. And as you can see, yeah, the Vikings have 6 cities left, and we took 4 off Japan and 7 off the Vikings, so we literally halved their empire in a single turn. And yeah, there we had the turn. Doesn't even look like they get any attacks off on us, although it's hard to see. But yeah, that's how to capture 11 cities in a single turn. Definitely could have stretched it to 17 with more workers, more Sipahi. If we had more artillery, I'm sure we would have used them, although I don't know. Still need the Sipahi to actually take the cities. And yeah, this strategy is also like, you can give yourself a boost with bombers for sure. By emptying out the cities, so you don't even have to risk your units. But at the same time, you can't use that for infinite cities in a single turn because you can't rebase a bomber and fire. Now, if you had, carriers all around the map, you could conquer a lot in a turn that way. And you could actually also, if you had like transports or galleons, you can chain units out to any continent you have a toehold on. So this Spanish continent I couldn't actually attack because I don't have marines, so I can't land and spread my units out on the same turn. But if I had a city on that continent, I could get my units there at full movement, build railroads, just steamroll through them, as you saw me do to the Vikings. Hope you enjoyed this little demo on how to conquer potentially unlimited cities in a single turn. Thanks, Suede, for that top 5 units list, and also, teaching me how to be a better Civ player. I would not have been able to win this Monarch game without what I've learned from watching his videos, so I'll link his channel in the description. You should definitely check that out. If you like this content, definitely like and subscribe. I also stream on Twitch, which is where this original footage came from, so yeah, follow me there if you want more Civ 3 content. And lastly, I'll give a shout out to the Civ 3 multiplayer Discord. There's still a thriving community, even though this game is 20 years old at this point. So I'll put a link to that in the description as well, and you should definitely join there if you're interested in playing Civ 3 with people who share an interest with you. But yeah, that's all from me. Signing off now, and thank you for watching. Oh, one more thing. If you've ever done better than this, conquered more than 11 cities in a single turn, I'd love to hear about or see how you did it, so let me know in the comments. Thanks.